Hello everyone, GenmaTheSamurai here, and welcome back to this part of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Alright guys, so last time we basically found out that the planet Aether here is having a bit of a planetary war, you could say, between the light world and the dark world. And we arrived here in the Agon Waste to help them get basically some energy from the dark world. And now we basically got a little bit more instructions on how to actually get there, but not in too much detail because, you know, they want us to explore. I'm just getting hit by that thing because I just fumbled that jump right there. Ace gameplay going on right now. Anyway, another thing I just want to say, there really is no getting around it because these controllers are noisy as frick, and I'm really sorry about that. But if you hear some click-clacking from the GameCube controller, sorry about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and scan this really quick, and I'm just going to read this lore because I didn't really get to read this before, so here we go. Anyway. Aether was a fertile, aged world with bountiful fields and oceans. The native creatures were gentle compared to other worlds we had encountered. We settled in a mountain region at first, in cliffside dwellings. In time we established settlements in the green forest of Torvis and the fertile plains of Agon. A great temple was built between our three domains, a place of peace and a monument to our accomplishments. It was a time of harmony for our people. Yeah, so this whole region used to be a bunch of plains and everything. I will say this. There are a few times in terms of, like, world building stuff when it comes to Metroid, and I know there really is no getting around it because it's just kind of like a gameplay staple. But I will admit, it is slightly hard to believe this area is a plains, as they put it, considering how confined every single room is with the doors. Like, I know that's a Metroid convention. It's probably stupid for me to complain about that. But it is definitely a little bit of a thing. But, hey, it is what it is. Anyway, enough about that, though. We're going to go ahead and progress. Either way, I like the art design of all of these rooms. They're very memorable and everything, so I would definitely prefer that from a gameplay standpoint. It's just not, like, realistic, in my opinion. But you know what? I'm okay with that. So, moving on, though. So where we actually have to head is over here. I started heading this way before, and then I realized I was getting a bit ahead of myself because I needed to get another power-up first, so here we are. So first things first, we're going to go ahead and go over here, and oh dear, well, found a dead body, but hey, look at that. There's a missile tank. Forget the dead body. Hey, we got his stuff. This is unfortunate. Anyway, moving on. So, yeah. This is kind of a room that I personally find kind of annoying to get through, to be honest. Like, it's a fun set piece to use the cannons and everything, but when you have to backtrack through that room a lot, which honestly you do, in my opinion, it is a pain. A huge pain. But yeah, we have some space pirates to fight, so let's go ahead and do that. And okay. So again, remember to use your charge shot because it is your best friend in this game. I am legitimately impressed at how good the charge shot is. Alright, and then I think a missile should do it for that one. Alright, awesome, awesome. Okay. Well, that sucks. Alright, so these guys suck. So when the Ing possess a creature, they actually become a lot more aggressive, and on top of that, they also just get a lot more health in general as well. Not a fan of fighting some of these Darklings. I'll be real. That is the official term for that. Oh god. Okay, these guys rapid fire. They are very aggressive with their pellets. I actually almost died in one attempt of this. So, whoa, okay. You're not the only one who can rapid fire shots. Okay, that worked out. In hard mode, those guys are kind of scary because they just tank a lot more. At least that's what it feels like. Let's go ahead and scan this really quick. All right, Light of Aether. The main energy controller was built in the Great Temple. 3 sub-controllers were built in the temples of Torvis, Agon, and Sanctuary. They collected the energy of Aether, then radiated it over the world to all who needed it. In time, we came to call this precious energy the Light of Aether. It brought an age of peace and prosperity to the Luminoth. So, you could say that the Luminoth, how I would sum up this whole situation is, Human, can I have lamp? That's a really dumb meme. I don't know if you guys will know that, but that's alright. We're gonna go ahead and proceed onward. In general, though. Really? Really? Okay, well that just happened. Yeah, though, so this is actually a portal of sorts. Let's go ahead and scan this. Console used to energize and open a portal to Dark Aether, currently offline. So I basically have to do a little puzzle right here to activate that. So we're going to go ahead and do that. I like this set piece, though. This is pretty fun. In general, I like the build-up to this a lot. There's something else I do want to say about Dark Aether, but I'll save that for when we actually go there. It's kind of an interesting little bit of trivia. If you guys know a certain TV show that has been popular recently, I actually don't know if it finished because I haven't watched the full thing. Well, I'll get into that again in a moment. For now, let's go ahead and proceed forward. All right. In general, though, man, I really do like this. Just a fun little set piece. This is not really a hard puzzle to do at all. You just kind of do this over and over again, but it looks cool. In general, I just really like the art design of these games in general. Like, all of these alien worlds and everything just have really cool and interesting architecture. And just the way that it plays out from, like, a puzzle perspective is also just really rad. I don't know. I just think it's really cool. Enough said. Anyway, let's go and proceed over here, and hello. Oh, let's scan that. Alright, so that's a pill bug. Not a fan of those things. They only exist in these little morph ball sections. And so because of that, you kind of have to take them out a very specific way. Let's do that. You have to lay a morph ball bomb and then do that. Oh, well, I ended up taking care of that. I did not mean to solve the puzzle. That's alright, though. See, something I do kind of like here, at least this is how I interpret this and the vibe I get, maybe some of it is the music and everything, quote-unquote music, but I do really like just this weird sense of dread as you see them slowly showing this like portal activating, because the Dark World is legitimately tense. When we actually go inside, you guys are in for an experience, that's for sure. Alright. Also, I really like that little cutscene where she messes with the atmosphere and then pulls her hand back. Actually, before I ever got this game, they actually featured this game in a Nintendo Power, and they actually showed the storyboard for that scene. Maybe I'll like put a photo up on the screen. I think that'd be pretty fun. But yeah, so Dark Aether over here is pretty dangerous. I want you guys to look at my HP meter the moment I step outside of this barrier. Okay. So that was only about maybe like a second and a half, and that took out like 3 units of health or something like that, which is why it's good that I actually went and picked up that other energy tank, because that is scary. Legitimately. Also, it's kind of fun. So I didn't actually point this out before, but if you actually went up to this door, you would kind of see like a weird red thing here. So basically, when I activate this in this dimension, it's actually going to pull that up over there. So when you're in Dark Aether here, you basically want to go into these safe zones that are created by these crystals. Alternatively, you can also shoot these little balls over here, and it'll also activate the barriers. So yeah, at least for now, I'm definitely going to be gunning it between safe zones, and that's just going to be the way Dark Aether functions. In terms of premise, actually, so this is going to be me talking about what I was going to talk about before. Have any of you guys seen the show Stranger Things? Because I am partially convinced that they may have actually taken inspiration from Dark Aether. At the very least, it's a fun coincidence. Mostly just because there's a lot of things that are, like, legitimately similar. Even down to the fact that you'll notice that actually, like, the architecture here, especially when we get into the other room, Dark Aether, visually speaking, is kind of like a dark, distorted version of the regular world. But at the same time, it isn't too different. A lot of, like, the environment is exactly the same between each version of the world. And again, that's pretty cool. Yeah, let's go ahead and progress this way. And, alright. Now, I think I have an interpretation of Dark Aether and, like, how it came to be, kinda, or, like, what it is exactly. But I'll go into that a bit later. But I think Dark Aether here is kind of an interesting concept in general. Oh, and also the area in Stranger Things, at least the the dark dimension in that. I think it's called like the Upside Down or whatever. I haven't actually watched the full show though. At this point, I think I've seen seasons 1 and 2 of it. I don't know if seasons 3. Is there a 4th season? I haven't been keeping up with it. But in general, yeah, when I watched Stranger Things, like I immediately just thought of Dark Aether in this game, and it's kind of cool in that sense. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and save right here. Now, with other Metroid games, I may, at points, choose not to use save points just to, allow me to redo a part if possible. This game, actually, the way Dark Aether is, I'm going to be using whatever save points I can find because they are very scarce, for one. And two, in general, again, like, Dark Aether just is, like, incredibly punishing. Like, you have to be very careful and aware of these barriers constantly while you're playing. And it can create some really intense fights. Alright, well here we are. This is an Ing, a warrior Ing specifically. So these are the creatures that have been hopping dimensions and possessing things. I don't know why I locked onto that. Alright. So what makes these things like really creepy and weird is the fact that they can just kind of turn into these like puddles of goop. They also speed up when you start hitting them while they are puddles. So it's kind of fun. Now, what is kind of neat is that you can actually hit them while they are puddles and everything, but the only efficient way to do that is to actually go into the free aim, which is something that, like, I think I only selectively really had to do with certain boss fights in Prime 1. Luckily, with these warrior Ings and stuff is that they can't, like, fully survive in these barriers because they're meant for light either. So because of that, they usually stay out of the barrier, but they'll do everything to damage you from outside of it. So it's pretty cool. Anyway. Whoa. Alright. Come on, you punk. Yeah, got him. Haha, suck it. Alright. Anyway, that's enough for that. Oh, and I also have not really drawn too much attention to this, but in terms of things that you kind of have to scan and everything, I haven't been prioritizing it as much, and actually there are some creatures in another room that I need to remember to scan when I get in there next time. But basically, it's not really that important. It's kind of like I found out with Prime 1, where basically in order to get like the secret ending, because there is one, you do want to collect every single item. But if you do want all of that, gallery stuff, it's good to get everything scanned. This game is a lot smarter with what things you can scan and everything, but there are a few points where it still kind of throws in like some things that I'm like, why did you make this required? This is really stupid. In general, I'm not a big fan of like the missable scans being required, except for boss fights. I kind of understand that one to a certain point, but it is definitely a thing that I really advise you be careful about. I'll point out one of them in particular when we get to that one, but in particular, when you fight boss fights, make sure to scan them. That is for sure. And if they have a different form, make sure to scan that itself, because usually, god dang it, Alright guys, so I'm back. So I said in the first part that my disc is not exactly the best, and there we go, that was living proof of that. But yeah, also those things are really weird. Not really sure what the point of those things are, functionally speaking, but those are light bringers. They're basically these robots, I guess, made by the Luminoth that kind of create these energy barriers and stuff. They won't really hurt you or anything, they just kind of exist to help walk you through this area and everything, so I do appreciate them. They're just kind of interesting, I guess. Anyway, though, we're going to go ahead and head into this area, and okay. Oh, hey, that's a weird one. Oh, he's jumping. Alright, so anyway, if you remember that one particular ing that had our Morph Ball bombs, well, this is actually what that one would have looked like, so that's pretty fun. Anyway, so yeah, I guess when these ings possess some of our abilities, this is kind of what they look like. There's a few others that you'll see throughout the game, or at least one other that will look like this. We'll point out that guy when we get to that one. But yeah, this one is the Jump Guardian. This is a pretty easy fight that honestly is just kind of mostly annoying, in my opinion. I don't really like this one. He kind of just jumps around a lot, and when he does do it, he's just kind of invincible. So you just kind of have to try and time all of your shots well. It's a very repetitive fight. The only thing about it is that he gets faster when his HP gets lower. So we're definitely going to keep an eye out for that when that starts happening. You can also try and time your shots once it starts getting a little bit more crazy for when he lands and everything. One thing in particular that I do like about this game is that the lock-on isn't as needed in this game sometimes. Like, there are fights in general where actually it might be more advantageous, in my opinion, for you to actually not use the lock-on, because your gun is actually on level with wherever this guy lands on the floor. So because of that, I just advise you just kind of turn the camera around just by walking around normally, since, you know, you kind of have like tank movement a little bit, you know what I mean? That is definitely a bit more helpful. But yeah, anyway, what is really nice at the very least is they kind of give you this big old barrier in the middle. It's just kind of like a tougher version of the other fight, in my opinion. Again, not really that hard of a fight, but yeah, anyway. Whoa. Oh geez, I walked right into all of that. Okay. Come on. There we go. Alright, yeah, he's gonna start being faster now, I think. Oh, come on, stupid crystal. Okay. Also, learning the timing for those light beams, I find it weird. I don't know what those beams are. I think they're light beams, but it feels kind of weird to have the ing use a light beam. Well, I guess they... Maybe it's because they can do, like, dimensional flux or something, and it might be, like, a magnifying glass thing. Like a weird loophole that they kind of do. Like, they just fire concentrated light world energy at me just by opening a weird portal. That might be it. Is that what's going on here? I don't know. Alright. Oh yeah, that's getting faster. In general, man, they just cranked up the speed on this part. Okay. Yeah, he doesn't ever stay up once he gets into this phase, so... Okay. I think he's still... Yeah. Okay, we're good. Alright. Got him. Oh, wait. One more. Boom. He's done. Just gonna make sure, yep. I'm very paranoid about the scanning. Alright. So I think we know what this power-up is. Let's do it. Hold on, let me just suck in all that energy. Yeah. Space jump boots acquired! Now we can jump infinitely. I mean, 2 jumps. Sorry. Wrong series. Anyway, honestly, I'm kind of okay with the nerf, but it is definitely kind of an interesting thing, because in the 2D games, it's just kind of an infinite jump, but in the Prime games, it's kind of a double jump. But I totally understand it, because the way this level design is, the Prime games, funny enough, so if you want to know what the Metroid series is actually named after, fun fact is that it's kind of a portmanteau of the word Metro and Android. So Android, I presume, being Samus because she has mechanical things, I guess. Metro being underground. And so a lot of the Metroid games, they are just kind of deep under the earth in a lot of them. But in the Prime games, they actually have Samus actually on the surface for most of the games, which is kind of interesting, I suppose. Yeah, I don't think there's a single Metroid game that is just like fully, or Metroid Prime game that is like fully underground yet. Anyway, so you see this right here. Let's go ahead and scan this. Security system initiated. All locks are active. Three keys are required to access the temple. They are scattered throughout the Dark Agon waste. So this is kind of a, I guess, Zelda-esque thing that they did here. But basically, in every single region here, you're going to want to collect 3 keys, and then using those keys, you'll be able to go and confront the boss. So it's how they incentivize you to actually explore each of the areas, so yeah. Anyway, let's go and collect this. So this is actually the first one. They just kind of give you one right here. But there are 2 more keys hidden within Dark Agon Waste, as it were. But we aren't able to actually collect any of them for a bit. So it's just something to keep in mind. Yeah. I think a lot of the time I feel like Morph Ball is actually faster than moving around normally, so that's why I'm doing that right there. I don't think I can actually get anything over there, at least as of right now, so we're just going to go ahead and proceed this way. That's just kind of a dead end. Yeah, because I didn't see any doors on the mini-map. So, anyway. Oh, I guess I also didn't really point any of this out before, like I said I was going to, but this is actually the main menu, as you can see. So over here, what is kind of nice is that you can kind of see how filled out each one of these are if you look over on the meter on the right. So over here, you can see that I only scan a certain amount of off-world things, and for Dark Aether, significantly less. And as for inventory, I mean, we're getting pretty good on that stuff. And then, of course, is the options menu. It is kind of confusing for a lot of people to figure out how to actually navigate the menu, but I mean, once you messed with it enough, it's really not that bad, but it is definitely a weird menu for the sake of feeling kind of sci-fi. I personally do not mind it, but is what it is. Anyways, though, we actually are going to go ahead and head back over to Light Aether because there's actually nowhere left for us to really explore right now. But we do have the double jump, which allows us to actually explore in Light Aether, so that's good. Alright, I usually just fire off 2 missiles on those guys because that just saves me some time. Those guys I don't really need to scan because I already scanned them over in the Temple Please game. Okay, thank you. So what can be kind of scary, especially with my disc, is quite simply, if you guys know how the door loading works in these Metroid Prime games, basically the doors only open once they have loaded the next room. It feels very seamless, but the downside to it is you may be waiting a bit for a door to open while it unloads the previous room and loads the next room. So typically speaking, I think it usually is procedurally figured out as you get close to certain doors, but I'm not positive of that. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and proceed back over to the light world, and there we go. So yeah, pretty cool stuff. And also, since we activated that thing over there, I think I said this earlier, it will actually open up that doorway, so we can actually head that way here in the light world now, so that's pretty good. Yep, see, it's pointing it out now. Anyway, normally speaking, I actually go to that save point after I make this trip to the Dark World that I just did. I'm gonna ignore these guys. Well, okay, to some degree. Yeah, because no locked door showed up, so no reason to fight them. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and activate this bomb slot, and you guys already know what that spot is, because I pointed it out at the end of last part. So yeah, again, I normally just kind of go to this save point after I visit the Dark World, just to save myself some time. But considering that I'm playing hard mode for one, and for two, that, you know, part lengths and everything, that's why I decided not to do it that way this time. Anyway, though, these sandbats are pretty annoying. You know what? Forget it. Oh, okay, they stop. That's fine. Alright. I mean, I guess I could have just blitzed them, I'm pretty sure. But it's okay. Anyway, let's go ahead and use the save point now. And yeah. Cool, cool, cool. So with that, we are now able to actually head right on over to the next area. So I actually don't know how long this part's going to be. I think I have an idea of where I'm going to end it, but we will find out. So, in the meantime, I'm just going to be heading on over to the next location. What's nice about having the double jump is that I can just kind of skip around now, so that's pretty sick. So, yeah. I really like power-ups like this that just kind of give you an immediate sense of, like, wow, I can get through areas significantly easier than before. Like, that just always feels good in these games in general. Okay. So yeah, let's go ahead and go over here. And yeah, again, I'm pretty sure the morph ball moves around faster than your regular movement. The one downside being is that they play like a whole animation when, you know, you go out of morph ball. But it is what it is. So anyway, earlier you guys may have noticed in the previous part that a space pirate actually... Wait, hold on. This is what I wanted to scan. Anyway, you guys may have noticed in the last part that some space pirates activated a thing and locked up something. But if we head over here, we will actually be able to get up there now that we have the double jump. So that's pretty good. Anyway, let's go ahead and scan this really quick. And there we go. Cataclysm. The star-born terror burnt through the heavens and struck Aether with an untold might. We all expected the world to shatter, but Aether held. There was great devastation, however. The great plains of Agon were scorched forever, and the forest of Torvus was engulfed and racked by the sea. The skies burned for days, casting darkness over the land. Man. Alright, well, let's go ahead and scan this, and there we go. I will say this, one thing that I don't think I really like about Prime Trilogy, and it's more so just because it makes things unnecessarily confusing. The lore has kind of changed around between releases of these games a lot. Like, in the Europe versions it says one thing, but then in the American versions it says another thing. And, oh, hey. Man, they're just really liking that Phazon. You guys are really gonna like it in a second. Alright, anyway. Yeah, though, we actually are approaching a space pirate base of sorts. But I just wanted to say that, like, the lore changes around depending with the versions, and then Trilogy, like, I think they revised it again. So, there was a point where, like, I was gonna make a lore video, and I decided not to do it, purely because I found out that my information was from a thing that is no longer valid. And it drives me crazy because mostly just because, like, yeah, you know, I had a whole theory video, and a lot of these things I think, like, still could work in the canon, but they're no longer canon, so are the canon. I don't, whatever. This is like the sort of thing that, whatever, man. It's not that big a deal because the general plot of the game is still kind of the same, but when you start messing with the details like this, it just gets unnecessarily confusing. I don't know if that makes any sense for some people, but yeah. Anyway, we are approaching a space pirate base, as you can tell. Right now, they're trying to fight me off. We're just going to go ahead and take out this guy. I think another missile should do it. Oh, I like this part. So, fun fact, these cannons I usually associate with the multiplayer mode of the game. This game has a multiplayer mode, which is pretty fun for what it is. Honestly, I really hope that Prime 4 actually... So this is a weird hope I have for Metroid Prime 4, which is that I hope they just, like, straight up remake the multiplayer from Prime Hunters. Like, they don't really have to change that much, maybe add a couple characters and a couple levels, but otherwise I think they could probably keep most of the balancing, and I think that would be pretty sick. I say that because I know Prime Hunters multiplayer was really popular. This game's multiplayer is nowhere near that good. It's like a distraction. If you have, like, a friend over and you just want to play something fun for a little bit, it's okay. But it definitely doesn't have like the sheer amount of like stuff that's going on that Prime Hunters multiplayer has. And I think they might have incorporated that into this game kind of last minute because they were doing that with Prime Hunters, but I'm not positive of that. Anyway, geez, this feels really like actually organic and gross. Ugh. I like this. Yep. It's a bunch of space pirates going into that portal. Yeah, good luck with that, guys. So, the space pirates in this game are kind of butt monkeys. They kind of suck. They're not really intimidating like they are in, like, some other games or whatever, but I kind of like that they're used to help illustrate the power of the Ing a bit. It's kind of fun in a lot of ways. They also are just kind of like a fun little extra faction as well. I don't know. Anyway, though, let's go ahead and head down here. Yeah, I timed that right. Anyway. Oh no, they spotted us. Alright, time to take out these guys. Alright, that's good enough for him. Let's kill that one. I also really like I think this theme is called like Space Pirate Fear or whatever. It's pretty tense. Oh yeah, we also have a lot of Space Pirate lore here now, so that's fun. Anyway. The rift portal has been opened. The artifact weapon, dubbed the Dark Beam by Science Team. The Science Team provides the energy needed to open the portal. Although for a limited time we've sent expeditions through the portal, but they have returned with incredible news. The portal leads to a parallel version of Aether. This Dark Aether has suffered a global calamity, turning it into a toxic wasteland. It is the home world of the shadowy creatures who have been raiding our base for the last cycle. Most importantly, it is the prime location of Phazon in this sector. Extraction plans are being prepared. We will not be denied. Oh man. Alright, let's read this one. A spatial anomaly has been found within our base. We believe this rift in space-time leads to a parallel dimension of some type, but have been unable to interact with it thus far. A strange artifact was found near the anomaly as well. It may be a weapon or generator of some kind. Perhaps it is a key to accessing the anomaly. I'm reading this backwards, aren't I? Accessing the anomaly. High Command is eager for reports on the relic. A new weapon for our arsenal is always welcome. I think I'm reading it backwards. I think I'm supposed to read it this way. Well, hey, there we go. Science teams detected the presence of Phazon in the Dasher system 4 cycles ago. High Command authorized the deployment of our team shortly thereafter. Our orders are to establish a base on planet Aether and evaluate local Phazon resources. Because this world lies on the periphery of Galactic Federation territory, we are following the stealth protocols at the highest level. A cadre of elite commandos has been dispatched to provide security for our force as well. This operation is now underway. I see. Let's go ahead and scan this one. Alright. GameCube. Okay, we're good. I got scared. See, this is what I mean, guys, by disc. Intelligence reports on the indigenous population of Aether are in error. This planet is not at peace, nor are the inhabitants docile. Evidence of a Class 4 conflict is present here, though hostilities are at a minimum level now. Our territory has suffered several raids by a strange type of shadowy creature. These raids have caused considerable damage, and we have requested more combat troops in response. Okay. Let's go ahead and scan this one. Phazon extraction raids are underway on Dark Aether. The toxicity of the atmosphere has taken a toll on our workforce, as have the hostile natives of that world. Science team is preparing survival gear to protect our work teams. We have increased our security presence in extraction areas. Fortunately, High Command is sending more troops and supplies. Our troops and resources are spread dangerously thin, and this mission cannot fail. Anyway, let's go ahead and scan this. Dark Aether, okay. Can't determine origin of Dark Aether's Aether's dark twin. Contains high levels of Phazon ore. Native bioforms attack on sight. Yep, that's accurate. Alright, let's scan this one. Planet is unstable due to transdimensional flux. Warfare has devastated a good portion of the world's population. Finally, climate shifts have left most of Aether uninhabitable. Yeah, that's what they were talking about with the energy controllers being necessary. Alright, anyway though, yeah, this is going to be on the longer side, guys. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, it's just as soon as I find a save point. But okay, interesting. Yeah, so I guess to give you guys a recap on that, yeah, these guys found out that there was some Phazon located here on this planet, which is from Metroid Prime 1. And that Phazon was also distributed by a meteor in Metroid Prime 1. And a meteor hit this planet. I wonder. Anyway, enough about that, though. We're going to go ahead and proceed. So yeah, anyway, it's kind of interesting on that front. Oh, I like this part. Like, you think you're fine, and then this guy just shoots through the glass, and then you can kind of shoot him over there. I can't jump through that. I'm going to have to go in from the other side, but this is pretty fun. Alright, let's go ahead and shoot that, and there we go. Alright, so let's head this way, and alright. Oh. Hey, been a while. How's it going? Jeez. Alright, so yeah, Dark Samus is here, so that's fun. Anyway, let's go ahead and scan this over here really quick, and that will actually open up that blast door. Alright. But yeah, the unfortunate thing for the space pirates here, I suppose, fortunate in all other respects, is that when they came to this planet looking for Phazon, well, the Galactic Federation picked up on that very quick, so then they followed them, and then it all kind of went downhill from there. For everyone involved, actually. Oh, I like this room. I don't know, something about, like, all these rooms. Just the art design of this game, I'm telling you guys, it's really good. Okay. Let's go ahead and break that, and cool. Whoa. I mean, that would have just done damage to me, but hey, I'm glad I had the reflexes for that. Also, those speeders, by the way, you guys may have noticed that when they showed up before, I scanned that with a quickness. That's because I think you only have like 3 opportunities to scan that. I'm not even kidding. And it's just like one of those things you wouldn't think would be temporary, but it totally is. There's a lot of really dumb things like that, but overall, I still do think this game is not as dumb when it comes to some scans. Like, Metro Prime 1, for some arbitrary reason, in order to get the 100% scans, you had to scan pickups too. Like, every single type of, like, health and missile pickup, you needed to scan and have that added to your logbook, and it's so dumb. This does not do that, but it definitely has lots of missable stuff still, but it's not as bad as Prime 1 overall. I'll say that much. Just, you know, try to scan where possible. You don't even have to read it, just fill up the meter and then you're good. Anyway though, let's go ahead and move onward. Also, as you can tell, they brought Metroids here. Whee! Let's go ahead and scan one of them. So this is a Talon Metroid, as they call them. I will say this about... Oh wait, we have some more. Some lore. Samus Aran, the accursed hunter, has arrived. The sudden arrival of the hunter is strange enough, but her actions are stranger still. She does not seek our destruction, but our Phazon. With each raid, she steals Phazon ore, only killing those who attempt to deny her. What she needs it for, we do not know. Though science team suspects she requires it to power her new armor suit. Dark in color, it is equipped with strange new weapons. The troops now call her the Dark Hunter. It is a fitting title. I see. Also, oh, I forgot about this. Oh, that's so messed up. Evidence of symbiotic bonding present in subject systems. Subject is barely alive and is periodically leached of its bioenergy by Metroids. Oh no. Well, there's a Talon Metroid. Anyway, wow, though. That guy, I don't know. He must have fallen in while trying to feed them. Also, the top of that is open. That's actually kind of concerning. Wait, can I even jump up there? Kinda. Ooh, I don't like that. Oh, that's that one. Okay. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, the Talon Metroids. So, this is kind of weird. This is just kind of a thing I don't think the Metroid Prime series could have gotten around in a lot of ways. At least not without some very careful writing. But, considering what happens in Metroid 2, and this is why the Prime series is set where it is, it's still kind of... So in Metroid 2, if you guys don't know, Samus is sent to exterminate all of the Metroids from their homeworld. But then the Prime series establishes that there's, like, Metroids that are from other worlds, kind of? I'm choosing to believe that the Metroids, like the Talon Metroids, since you can kill them with your charge shots and everything, they aren't, like, legit Metroids, like on, you know, SR388. Since those ones could typically only be killed with, you know, basically the beam combo. So that's how I choose to interpret that. But that said, yeah, it's a little weird. There's a lot of things that don't really make sense in some areas with that. I will concede that in regards to, like, when people are talking about, oh, the Prime series isn't canon. Like, I get that part. But at the same time, these games are so good. I kind of don't care about stuff like that. But it is undoubtedly a thing that you do have to take into consideration. Oh, this is kind of a fun puzzle. This is going to be like 10 minutes longer than my average part. I am so sorry, guys. But that's okay. Hope you guys are enjoying nonetheless. Alright, I think I'm supposed to go over on that side first. So this is a fun little puzzle room. I like the music in this. Let's go ahead and go over here, and okay. Scan that. Alright, so there are actually a few ways to go about this puzzle here. So as you can see, you have all of these blocks, as it were. Now, the way you go about activating this is kind of dumb, in my opinion. So you're going to see these little arrows here. When you scan them, you'll kind of notice what happens. So, yeah, I think that's the... Oh, no, that's the power-up. Okay, that's the one I want to do. Each of these arrows, when you scan them, it actually moves it up or down, depending on which one you choose to scan. But that also means you gotta take the time to actually scan them in first, and then you basically just do it again. It's really not that intuitive, in my opinion, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and scan that one, and okay. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and collect that pickup, and alright. Anyway. Let's go over here, and cool. But yeah, anyway. In general, I just really like the way this game is structured, though. I think the scary thing, considering the way my GameCube has been acting, is purely the fact that, again, this game is kind of scarce when it comes to the save points. But otherwise, honestly, it does add a lot of tension to this game, unlike Metroid Prime 1. Because Metroid Prime 1 is actually pretty cozy in comparison to this game. But yeah, this one, no, you really want to be very careful about how you go about some things. Okay. Alright, anyway, there we go. Puzzle solved. Alright, so let's go ahead and head over here, and right, we're able to proceed. So, got it. Man. But yeah, I guess here's the question of the day. How much do you guys really care about, like, the canon stuff in the Prime series or whatever? Like, honestly, I feel like everything I brought up in regards to, like, the logbook changes between versions and stuff like the Metroids and the whole Metroid 2 inconsistencies, all that stuff. I'd like to hear your guys' thoughts on all of that, I guess. So it's not so much a question of the day, but I'd just like to get your guys' opinion on all of that stuff, because it's just kind of a subject that is worth talking about in regards to the Prime series, because I will admit, when it comes to that stuff, it does add some merit to, you know, making the 2D games kind of their own thing. In a lot of ways, like, that's part of another reason why, what is it, in terms of Metroid Dread, oh geez. I tried to get greedy there. In regards to Metroid Dread, you know, I really don't recommend the Prime series as, like, part of the binge if, like, someone were to play through the whole series from the very start. Just because it's really not important to the 2D Metroid plot, in my opinion. Oh! Like, it adds some fun context to the world, but aside from that, I mean, it really isn't that important. Because the main plot line is in the 2D games. Yes, we got there. Okay, here's the save point. I'm going to go ahead and scan the lore behind it first, and then we're going to go ahead and end the part. So, anyway. The Dark Hunter teleports into the base at will. Our security has proven next to useless against her. Her latest raid was disastrous. Not only did we lose more phazon to her, but she also crippled the stealth field generator with her strange new weapons. We are exposed. Until the replacement generator arrives, we will be vulnerable to scans and detection. Our presence here is still minimal. Should the Federation find us, we will be unable to defend our position. Fortunately, Aether is on the fringe of Federation space. With luck, we will have a stealth field back in effect before being detected. Oh, so we can thank Dark Samus for how this whole situation went down. Alright, anyway, that's enough for now. I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into this part of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes. Hope you guys enjoyed. Wow, it is basically 10 minutes after I normally would have ended it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And yeah, we're going to find out what's up with Dark Samus next time. And this is going to be a lot of fun. So see you guys then. Bye.